What up?
What up, everybody? Welcome to Mint Collectibles. You got Mint in the house.
Hi, guys. It's me.
And we have Tivo the Terminated. We'll introduce you in a little bit. Let's just let some people get up on in here first. You with me, brother?
I am no longer terminated, though. If you see the name, that's Tivo the Triumphant.
Oh, Triumphant.
I hope I spelled that right.
So we're going to wait for some people to pile in. We kind of got a more of a structured show today, actually. So, right, because we're going to get some good news from Tivo, and then we're going to do the 30K giveaway drawing. Oh, and we got to bring that slab out. That's what I forgot. And,
that's right. Hey, you got my entry right.
I do actually have it.
All right, so I can still win even if I'm on the show, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be showing the screens, no funny business. We got a little bit over 900 people who entered into the contest. Or the whatever you call it, giveaway. Shout out to everybody in the live. Oh, no wonder I can't see you guys, man. I don't even got the right thing up. There we go. So we got a lot of people in the chat, man. About 77 in there.
79. I'm in the. I watched the YouTube live chat because the StreamYard live chat is a little bit laggy. But in the StreamYard live chat, you can highlight comments and stuff.
That's why you got to have that.
Exactly, yeah.
So shout out to my man Adrian, local El Pasoian. Magic the Crackening. No, we didn't do the drawing yet. We're going to start the show in about 3 minutes. We have a lot of MCU leaked information from Tivo's source so that we're going to share that with you guys. There's a couple different things, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll do the drawing. So, yeah, man. What up to Matt Collections?
Shout out to my man Sith Lordly. That's a dude I rock cons with.
Straight up. What up to Possessed by Genesis? What up to Adarsh Tandon in the house? I'm over here sipping on some Tito's. I don't think these two are drinking. Not yet.
Not yet. I will be, but not yet.
I'm drinking Slizura.
So, yeah, man.
How's everything in El Paso? Y'all straight?
Yeah, it just kind of seems a little like down. Like
yeah, a lot of people seem to be like upset. The city seems to be like sad as a whole.
Yeah, feels weird, right?
Yeah, Trump over there trimping.
I didn't even. He came here, but did he do anything?
Really?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't
yeah,
know.
he. I don't want to get too political on the show. I'll just say one thing. He posed with the baby that was orphaned.
What?
Yeah, he smiled and threw a thumbs up like, dude, really? Come on, man.
So people where I work were telling me that story. I'm not going to get into it because it's sad as hell, but it's crazy, man.
It is. You know what? The thing is, in 2 weeks, we'll forget about it all because it happens so often.
That's what's crazy about it.
Yeah, that's
it's like
crazy.
People, anyway.
Ben Hizzle.
What up, Pete R? I've already been sipping on this a little bit, y'all, so I'm already a little,
Mm-hmm.
Let up the JLS Comics in the house.
Yeah, man.
I'm back up to 347 subs. Jesus Christ.
we got to get you back up, man.
It's aloha. You know what I found out, man? Like, if you were to, so you got 30,000 subs, right? But you know how many people subbed up to you who no longer active on YouTube? So, like, if you were to lose your shit, those subs from 4 years ago,
you ain't getting them all back.
You won't get them back.
For sure. Yeah, I know. It's just like you drop a video and you have 30,000 subs, but the video will get like 2,000 views. So not everybody is active. Not everybody's watching. But we'll talk about that for a minute. So it's 7 p.m. for us here. We're Mountain Time, Lord Logan.
6 p.m. here on the west.
And 9 on the east. So we're about to get into this.
Oh, real quick shout out to our buddies, 4 Comics, 3 Men in the Basement. They're live right now. Y'all can peep it out after this show, though. They're over at a Terrific Con at Mohegan Sun.
Yeah, I saw them yesterday. Were they on Otto's doing it live again?
Yeah, they're doing it from the hotel lobby of a casino.
My man, Very Gary's there.
Yeah, a bunch of fools there, man. A bunch of Instagrammers, a bunch of YouTubers.
So we got a super chat in the house from
Miss Megan.
What's up, Jen and Miss?
Cool. Thanks for the $1. You guys get the other $1.
Yeah, we gonna split it off.
It would really get messed up when people that like donate $1.33. You got to figure that shit out.
3.3333. Sis said Gemini's of the long box. All right, so we waited 5 minutes. We got about 130 in the chat. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm sure most of you do, but Tivo is kind of the guy who put me onto the whole YouTube game. I know him from Instagram for probably around when I started, like 2014, 2015. TiVo, I wanted to start a YouTube channel, so he kind of helped guide me how to do it. I made one video and nobody watched it, and I said, man, fuck this YouTube shit, man. Excuse my language. But anyway, when I started the channel again about 2 years ago, I went back to TiVo, so he kind of showed me the ropes. I used to be on his show, but it got too much, man. I'm over here doing mad videos every day. But I used to be on the Lords of the Long Box, and TiVo, man, that Lords of the Long Box channel got shut down by YouTube, and he still doesn't know why. You want to speak on that?
Nope. So, yes, first off, I want to apologize to everybody for bringing GemMint into the world. That's what I just want to set that out straight right now. Yeah, man, me and Gem been fucking with each other since about 2013 when Instagram was literally maybe 20 of us showing comic books at that time. Back then it was just mostly photographies and selfies, but now Instagram's blown up. Then we had you on. I started Lords of Long Box back in like 2015 showing comic book calls. Even my first comic book call was you know what I'm saying? I go, hey, look at these comics. I think these will pop. Back then, people were just like buying comics and just showing them. And then I kind of did a little thing with, remember our JN guy? You saw him at San Diego Comic-Con. John Wynn, my cousin, and some other cats.
Your cousin.
Yeah, we did the first Lords of Long Box show with the Lightning 2288, the Big To Do, JN guy. Those are like the old cats from YouTube.
Yeah.
And then we kind of did the live show, and then we brought you on. We had Marky. We had Comic Book Fanatics. We had a bunch of cats roll through. And then we remember Fanboy Fight Club. You know what? I'm thinking about bringing a Fanboy Fight Club back. Or, you know what I'm saying? That was fun. Man. It just wasn't ready. We weren't ready at that time. We didn't have enough followers and viewers, and people weren't ready. But I think now, we could do it, man. So about 2 weeks ago.
Before I forget, put shout out Justin Page, $2 super chat talking about yo bartender. And just so y'all know, I'm drinking Tito's with V8 Splash. Ooh. Because people are asking.
Better get a sponsor for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
If not, if that's you just say I'm drinking tequila. If they want to say the name, you got to get paid for that, man.
So anyway, you still do so anyway, you're doing the live shows.
Yeah. So we kind of moved from just talking about comic books to more like let's talk about comics that are movies and TV, because nowadays a lot of times the movement, the pricing of comic books, right, is especially big boy books, right? Not saying anything's wrong with the weekly variants and whatnot. But, the books that people expect to pop when they hear about movie news, TV news. So we kind of moved toward that way. We even at one point messed around with the names of Lords of the Box Office. Yeah, that didn't last too long. But, Master Debaters of Fandom. If you remember that, we were messing around with that name for a while, Fanboy Fight Club.
Yeah.
And then about, 3 or 4 months ago, I was doing one of our shows and we were talking about how certain comic books just get hot for no reason, right? If you think about it, She-Hulk or this, some books just get hot for no reason at all. And my guess was there's a secret group of collectors out there that get the information and they go out and they buy up all the books and then people follow suit, right? You hear it on the CGC forum boards, like if anybody uses that. And somebody reached out to me on instant message or private message on Instagram. They're like, hey, you know that thing you said about the secret, cabal of collectors? He goes, there is one. He goes, I'm one of them. I go, what? He goes, yeah. He goes, I have insiders at Disney and DC, and when they tell me stuff, I don't go and blab it off. We go and we buy up all the comics, and then we'll leak the news out. So I was like, damn, that's the way to do it. That's the way to get into comics. So I was like, you know what? Would you like to be my secret source? He goes, yeah. And be honest with you, he found me out through Comic Tom 101. He was watching his channel. Comic Tom 101 gave us a shout out, and he liked what we were doing. And I said, yeah, if you want to work with us, he goes, I'll give you the information as it comes. And I got into it with some scoopers who do this professionally. Geeks Worldwide, MCU Cosmic, that hashtag show. They all blocked me on Twitter at one point or the other because I was saying news and they would say it. I actually have screenshots from a guy named Charles Murphy, who's a co-editor at the hashtag show. I dropped the news about the Mandarin and Shang-Chi in a private message to him on Twitter, and he put it on the hashtag show website 3 days later. And then when I called him out on Twitter, he blocked me. So I was
guy MCU Cosmic blew up quick though.
MCU Cosmic, he had wrong information too, and we're going to debunk some of his stuff tonight. Matter of fact.
So basically, TiVo started getting inside information from a source within sounds like Marvel or Disney or something like that. And you started dropping news. A lot of people got.
Let me preface that by saying my source has been in the comic book industry, writing as a writer, not for comics per se, but articles for different. I don't want to say what they are. So he has friends and fans of him from the 80s and 90s that he talks to that gives him the information.
Okay. Real quick, JW Statues with the $50 super chat talking about congratulations on the subs. Very happy for y'all. Damn, brother, appreciate it. JW Statues puts out freaking high quality statue reviews with his daughter. The shit is like, I can't even watch them because I start to feel inferior about the editing that I do. I'm like, damn, this guy got like 3D graphics and shit. And
damn, 50 bones. Thanks for the 25.
Straight like that. And he just want to let everyone know he did set up a subreddit for Mint Collectibles. I still don't understand Reddit.
I don't either, really. I don't really get it.
But if y'all fuck with Reddit, let's get on there because we got the subreddit set up.
We gotta go find it.
Yeah, we got to.
Subreddit just means they created a forum for you essentially. Think about it as Reddit is probably like old school. You remember like what boards used to be like, or the CGC boards. A Reddit forum is like that, but they actually have like a Marvel Reddit, a DC one for comic books, one for MMA. You could find like streams there for like a UFC pay-per-views, all kinds of stuff. That's what.
Yeah. No, and so we got that subreddit set up, and we got a Discord set up too, man. So if you go search Mint Collectibles, we up on there too. You want to give a shout out to your girl here?
Oh yeah,
I will.
Shout out to 88 PXR. So we are going to do a live stream tomorrow. Me and Fee are going to be talking about House of X2, and you got to read that Absolute Carnage.
I kind of drunk.
Did you put liquor
Yes,
in there?
I did.
I saw all I saw you pour was juice.
Well, I fucking did.
Yo, did you see her pour Tito's in there?
Whatever.
I did not. I think she should pour more in.
No, I'm gonna get drunk really fast. It's not gonna take me this whole thing.
So anyway, so check this out. So everybody, TiVo, that's my dog since day one in this YouTube game. Make sure to go give him a subscription there on Lords of the Long Box. It's a brand new page because he got shut down.
I was close to 5,000 too when I got taken down, which is the frustrating part.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get into some MCU leaks. TiVo has, like we mentioned, an inside source that's giving us what Marvel's plans are. So if you want to start off with the first bit of news there.
Well, I think the biggest news is that first of all, Phase 5 is coming at D23 in about 2 weeks. I'm trying to get more information on that.
Is that confirmed though? So D3 will definitely have Phase 5 information.
D23, yeah, they're gonna do pretty much the same thing they did at Phase 4, where they're gonna have from what my source is telling me, they already have the FF and X-Men logos ready to go for that.
So why would they release Phase 5 information when Phase 4 hasn't started yet?
Because Phase 5 is also going to include Hulu. Now, Hulu is also going to be headed up by Jeff Loeb. Jeff Loeb is going to be working with Kevin Feige. And the big difference is that in the past, Marvel TV never worked with Marvel MCU. If you think about Netflix, if you think about Runaways, if you think about any of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it started off connected, but then it got disconnected when they got frustrated. But now that Disney higher-ups basically told them, look, man, we got Disney Plus, we got Hulu, we got the MCU. This is our time to really bang it out of the park. So contrary to what people say, Jeff Loeb and Kevin Feige are cool now. People are saying they were fighting at each other, but no. So anything you see in Hulu is going to be potentially connected, not potentially, but will be connected to the MCU. And we already talked about it on our show that the Spirits of Vengeance stuff is coming to Hulu. So that's going to be like Ghost Rider.
So that's what we wanted. We wanted the supernatural Marvel world to exist on a TV streaming service.
Yeah. And like, Doctor Strange into the multiverse is going to open all that up. That allows you for different worlds, different supernatural stuff. But the biggest thing, since we already had laid out Phase 4, and I'll talk about what one of your videos that you did too, that you were talking about an omnibus that is most probably be coming in the movies. And that is coming. But the biggest Phase 5 news is that the next Endgame level type movie, right? Like when you think Endgame, you're thinking like the ending of the first 3 phases,
right? Is
going to be Secret Wars.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, and what they're going to do is between phases 4, 5, and 6, they're going to have Annihilation Wave in there. But you're going to see basically Easter eggs throughout the next 3 phases where You know how Thanos was sprinkled out, you know, the first 3 phases. Everything's going to lead up to Secret Wars coming. In between that, they're going to have Galactus and the Annihilation War. So if you think about Annihilation Wave in the comics, it never made it to Earth, right? The Annihilation Wave was all in outer space. So after that's concluded, they're going to do, and the reason I have 2 of these books up there is I think the book that people are going to buy is the one that came out in, you know, the original one, Marvel Superhero Secret Wars. But the storyline is more of the 2015 version, and I'm going to tell you what I have. And Feige's next endgame is Secret Wars. For several insiders revealed this is the current plan. Obviously, and everything, it's fluid, so things could change. Remember, Civil War was the last minute addition, and then most recently, Blade, right? Mahershala Ali called him up and said, yo, I want to be Blade. They said, okay, you got 2 Oscars, you have it, it's yours. So Secret Wars will build from film to film, from Annihilation happening in the middle of it all with Galactus. The Earth is going to be divided into battlegrounds, similar to, you know, the second Secret Wars. I don't know if you ever read that or not, but it's yeah, exactly. People weren't happy with it. So everything from Wakanda to Atlantis to Latveria, each in its own kind of pocket universe. So that's why this is more like the 2015 version of Secret Wars.
Yeah. So what is, you mentioned to me, what are some of the villains that are going to have like, what's it's going to be like Red Skull? It's going to be probably Doctor Doom.
Yeah, so like the 2015 version. Do you remember they each kind of they separated everything? Everybody had control of everything. So basically, exactly, Battleworld. So it's going to be mapped out like a Lord of the Rings trilogy with a twist. So basically, you're going to get Doctor Doom taking over Europe. You're going to have the Mandarin controlling Asia, and in the U.S., they're bringing back the Red Skull to control America. So in that,
bring him back from his post at the Soul Stone, though.
Remember, we don't know post-snap, anything is possible, right? Who knows who could have been brought back? Once Captain America went back in time and changed things, you had Doctor Strange with different multiverses. So really anything can happen. They got the world wide open right now. And so Red Skull, and also we reported that U.S. agent is going to be an ex-Hydra agent that turns on him. And we heard that Henry Cavill was up for the role of the U.S. agent. Remember that kind of weird knockoff Captain America character?
Yeah, exactly. But see, I think people are going to spec on that book then, and that's just going to die fast as hell, even if he does get casted and plays the role. Yeah.
But you know, I was thinking, man, this is like I hate to say speculation, because what Marvel is doing right now, this is unseen territory. Never before in the past, we all know, right? You spec on superheroes, blue chips, right? You know, if you spec on a villain, you got to flip it quickly because the villains are all, except for Thanos, right? Who's kind of been around for like
that shit died too, though, man. Especially, I'll be dealing with them keys, man. That shit died after that movie came out.
Yeah, but now that we have the MCU has Hulu streaming service and a Disney Plus streaming service, it's almost like unseen territory. We don't know how these spec books going to play. I mean, we know how CW books play, right? There's a villain that comes, gets hot for a minute, and then it goes away. But for the most part, this is almost unseen, because now you get the world of speculation is just huge now. People buying up anything on any bit of information. Hell, if you get an image book that gets optioned for something, it blows up immediately. But I mean, here's a good example of that. What happened with God Country? Your boy Donny Cates tweeted he's writing a screenplay for it, and then nothing. We haven't heard anything. I'm just saying,
whatever happened to Witches?
Yeah, no, I mean, Hollywood options up everything as soon as they can, and sometimes they just sit on it so nobody else will try to get it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. A lot of companies do that with licensing and shit too, man. So everybody, real quick, just make sure to go ahead and subscribe on Lords of the Long Box. I dropped the link in the chat there because a couple people were asking. So I think Secret Wars is a good long play. I think especially if they mix kind of the Jonathan Hickman run with maybe some Easter eggs from the original, I think they could really pull that off.
Yeah, as long as they don't do the Beyonder and his mullet, and because you remember that 12-issue run, there's some iconic covers, right? Of course, Black Suit Spidey, and then there's the Doctor Doom cover, and then you got the cover where the Hulk is kind of holding up all this all the rocks.
He kind of did that in Endgame.
Yeah, and that's an homage to an earlier Hulk. I'm trying to remember what the Hulk cover is. It may be a Steranko cover where he's kind of holding up the thing. I think that Secret Wars cover is an homage to that cover.
So I think that's big news. I'm excited to see how they drag that out, and having Annihilation in between there, it makes me feel like Annihilation is going to be smaller scale than I thought it would be, but I'm happy to hear that that's what's planned in there.
Yeah, but I think I think they're kind of like tired of the Earth getting in peril, so why leave the Earth out of it, right? They're just gonna have all the cosmic characters battle it out, before it even gets to Earth, and then they're gonna have the Earth level characters kind of deal with other stuff, and all the stuff you're hearing about Netflix, all those cats are gonna eventually come back under Hulu.
So let me ask you from a spec perspective, do you think that the old school 1984 Secret Wars 1 is the book to have for this?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, everybody should have that in collection anyway, right?
Not me.
Here's the thing about the Secret Wars run in 2015: is just a ton of copies out there. The Secret Wars #1, much rarer. I mean, if you look at the GPA on it is what 90-day GPA and a 9.6 is $67. Last sold 50, 9.8 last sold for 110. 90-day GPA is 144. That's not bad at all if you want to go out and get it. This is one of those books where you might as well buy it in a 9.8. Why fuck around with something raw and then
No, so I'm on the lookout. I asked my man Gary if he had one because I feel like getting this book at a 9.8 at about $100, $150. I bet you it'll spike up around that time. It'll be a nice little spec.
Yeah, like you said, most people have this in their collection, right? It was huge back. And if you think about all the big events the Marvels had, Secret Wars, Infinity Gauntlet, Annihilation Wave, Atlantis Attacks, maybe, I don't know. But you can count on one hand probably the biggest crossover events for both publishers if you think about DC and Marvel.
Well,
right?
it was Marvel's answer to Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Oh, God. Yeah, well, that didn't end up too well.
What else you got for us, Tebow?
Let me see. So, here's for the big boy collectors out here, man. So, one of my favorite books. Matter of fact, I'm picking up the Shang-Chi giant whatever essentials.
Yeah, the essentials.
Yeah, I got that in my LCS. Is waiting for me. I'm going to pick that up. Speaking of Shang-Chi, this is a character that the book is kind of expensive already, man. So a lot of people laugh at him, but he's been around for a while. Fin Fang Foom. Say that 3 times fast. Fin Fang Foom is coming to the Shang-Chi movie. And his first appearance is in Strange Tales '89. Great. This is classic, man. This is Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, pre AF-15, pre FF1. Yeah. This character's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, he has ties to the Mandarin. So the Mandarin, if you don't know, Fin Fang Foom is actually an alien that takes a form of a dragon, right? So he crashed on an alien aircraft on Earth. So what happened is the Mandarin found the 10 rings were actually from outer space. They're almost like infinity gems. Like I forgot how many powers. Each of them have their own kind of special power. The Mandarin found the 10 rings in a spaceship. When he was there, he also found Fin Fang Foom. God, it's hard to say, man. He found Fin Fang Foom sitting there, and he kind of took control of it. And that's why Fin Fang Foom is a villain of Iron Man, but he fits into the world of the Mandarin. That's why it's perfect for the Shang-Chi film. And the reason why I say this, because I sourced a scene concept art for Fin Fang Foom for the Shang-Chi movie. So that's a pretty good chance it's going to happen. If you're seeing the artwork being, pushed around and they're asking for concept art on it, a lot of times around DVD releases, you see the concept art, so that's a pretty important thing if you ever see that in the studio.
So, Tio, I want to address somebody in the comments. I lost the comment, though, because, hold on, I'm on this drink. He was like, why doesn't Marvel Studios go with a completely original event? And I think that fanboys will then complain. Why don't you stick to the source material? Why are you creating this made-up thing when you have 80 years worth of comics? And I think Kevin Feige took that from, like, the X-Men movies and the Spider-Man movies and said, no, we're going to stick with, like, comic adaptations.
Yeah, and that's a good way to go because you keep the hardcore fan base there, and then the new fan base, they don't really know what it's based off, right? Nobody knows. But they're not even direct adaptations, right? In Infinity Gauntlet, that story is a bit different. It was pretty close to it. Civil War, pretty close with the hero registration stuff.
I like that, Tebow. Yes. So my man, Child of the Atom, said, don't forget to mention that Sideshow's new Kid Pool statue, which is like a Kid Deadpool in a little inflatable pool, he has a Fin Fang Foom floaty in him with that statue.
There you go.
Do this type of stuff for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like omnibuses. Like you see characters heading first issues for no reason. Do you remember when Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur got hot for no reason at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's because the Devil Dinosaur is coming to Hulu. or no, Disney Plus, excuse me, along with Moon Girl. So, you know, because that's perfect kind of stuff for Disney, friendly family friendly stuff. They got the kids in it, you know. So, you know, they always do it for a reason, but it's I wouldn't say like go out and buy everything that comes out, because obviously they just do it just for sales too. For, you know, they come out with 10 omnibuses. It doesn't mean they come.
Fing Fang Foom though. Nobody.
Fin Fang Foom.
Even with like and with Deadpool, he has no association with Deadpool. That's like an Easter egg. Yo, shout out to Funko Pop Stars watching from Japan. Yo,
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
I knew you were gonna say that. That was too easy.
You can't be opening them doors. Hey,
right.
I'm not a Fang Foom guy. What else you got for me, man?
Do you got the GPA on Fing Fang Foom?
Yeah, let's look at the GPA real quick.
Because that's surprising. People are gonna be surprised at how expensive.
Look, like I mentioned to you offline, this is like the only pre-hero Marvel character that you know him by name. Like, name another one that hasn't been repurposed as Hulk or Human Torch.
Groot. I mean, you think about Groot.
Groot is another one, and Groot's the biggest one. So this is like
exactly
Groot potential.
But it's also hard to find this book. You know, if you look at that 6.0 Lasso for $15.30.
Yeah,
that's a good book right there.
That's a mid-grade book. That's not sitting around in someone's long box. You know what I mean?
No. If you find it, I mean, I think my boy King of the Golden State has one. I don't know many people that have this, but you know, I mean, this also goes to that whole thing I was talking about. My source told me that they're secret speculators out there. They get the information, but they don't tell anybody. They buy everything up, and then they'll tell other people.
Yeah.
So this book is expensive for no reason at all. If you think about it, I mean, it's not like, because nowadays what predicates movement mostly is movie news, right?
Yeah.
TV show news next. Maybe a first appearance. Like Marvel's really good at new comics, like new hot characters, like the Agents of Atlas, Wave, the first Filipina superhero. You know that.
What about the writer of that Ages of Atlas, man?
Greg Pak?
No, I guess I'm thinking about another book. Her name was like I forget her name.
Yeah. So because they tapped into the whole Asian market, so they got Swordmaster, Arrow.
Arrow's the writer of Arrow, I think.
Yeah, but Wave is the biggest one because you're talking like a whole country got behind that. I mean, she's the first Filipina superhero that Marvel's ever made. Swordmaster and Arrow, one of the other two, they were in that some Marvel game first. So this is one of those odd things where the first appearance wasn't even in a comic; it was in a video game, and then they made it a comic.
Real quick, shout out to the chat. We got 200 plus watching. Make sure to go support my man TiVo on Lords of the Long Box. That's kind of like my mentor in the YouTube game. He's dropping MCU leaks. We dropped that Marvel's next Endgame is Secret Wars. It's going to be like the next build-up type overarching storyline for the next few phases.
The next Endgame level event.
The final culmination of the next wave is going to be Secret Wars. And I'm sure it's going to be a mix of the original with heavily based on the Jonathan Hickman, I think 2015 run. Fin Fang Foom, we're going to get him in the Shang-Chi movie, this Master of the Ten Rings.
Yep. And also, so just so you know, the culmination of the next phases, the end of the next phases, they're bringing everybody in. So it's going to be the Netflix heroes and the supernatural heroes from Hulu, all going to be involved in Secret Wars.
They weren't able to pull off that mixture from the Netflix characters, which we would have loved to see them pop in an Endgame in that last scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I mean, now that's why, I want to talk about this is the reports that I keep on seeing. And every time I see a report or somebody sends it to me, I go directly to my source. I go, hey man, any truth to this? And they'll say yes or no, that's totally wrong. And we'll try to come out and debunk the funk is what I like to call it. But what I keep on seeing is people keep on saying there's going to be a Dark Avengers movie. There's going to be a Norman Osborn movie. The guy said, MCU Cosmic said that Giancarlo Esposito is up for he thinks Norman Osborn, and that's not going to happen.
So have you been hearing any Norman Osborn rumors?
No, because Kevin Feige doesn't own Norman Osborn. Right. Why would Kevin Feige? Yeah,
bad. People would comment on my Annihilation video talking about Norman Osborn. Like, well, how do you go from Thanos to Norman Osborn? That's not the same level threat, bro.
I would say maybe if Sony didn't own it outright. Why would Kevin Feige give it any pub if he didn't own it outright? You know what I mean?
Like, if you want to give him street level baddie for sure, but there's gonna be a cosmic level still. Hold on, we got a $2 super chat from VV Omega Wolf. What's he talking about? That black and white layout is fresh as fuck, Jembo. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's just a word to the wise. Everybody uses StreamYard out there. Do not use a very colorful background. You get a wash. You can't see people.
See, you can't be opening them doors for me because I will hit you with one of these.
Wait, I think he means the background in your picture.
I think he means this.
Yeah. No, see, that's one solid color though.
Okay.
Like, you don't want to put like, a bunch of different colors in the background because then you'll get lost in the foreground. But I think muted colors are black or like, you don't want to get too busy with it.
You be having too much dip on your chip, TiVo. Hey, so what else you got for me, man? You got any more leaks?
Yeah. So let me go back to a big one that this is kind of my personal favorite. And my boy, Very Gary, has kind of gone overboard with it. Is for the Fantastic Four movie. First of all, I want to debunk that tyrant rumor. That's false also. Whoever started that, they're wrong.
Herald to Galactus?
Yeah. So a couple of sites scoop that Galactus is coming in and he's going to be fighting Tyrant. And that's just not true. Why would they use Tyrant? They have Silver Surfer and a bunch of other heralds. But
who's the other one with the Fire Lord, right?
Fire Lord, yeah, but the actual rumor, the scoop was that Tyrant was coming. First of all, Kevin Feige is a huge fan of John Byrne's FF run. So, and the reason why is the first herald you're going to see that's coming in after Silver Surfer, because for all those who don't know, spoiler, Silver Surfer was a herald of Galactus, and then he kind of have falling out, and Galactus didn't have a herald. Well, Frankie Ray is going to be introduced in the MCU in the Fantastic Four movie as Galactus's herald after Silver Surfer kind of leaves him and goes off into the world, goes off into Earth. Right? Remember, Galactus banishes the Silver Surfer, doesn't allow him to leave the Earth. So in FF244, when Galactus is going to Earth, he's going to eat it, right? And then, Reed Richards says, no, you can't do that. I'm going to kill you. I got the ultimate nullifier. Yeah. And then Frankie Ray says, look, I will sacrifice myself to become your herald, and I'll find you a planet to help you eat. Because at that point, Galactus was almost dying. But that leads into another storyline of the trial of Reed Richards. Trial of Reed Richards was a storyline where the cosmic police, all the other planets put Reed Richards on trial because he didn't kill Galactus. And he's like, look, I can't kill Galactus. He's a force of nature. You have to have balance.
You got to have Galactus.
Yeah. So Frankie Ray is coming in the Fantastic Four movie. If you remember, she was actually in that really bad Fantastic Four movie, the second one.
They're all pretty bad. Which one is the second one?
The Rise of Silver Surfer.
Oh, okay.
She was the chick that was in the Air Force outfit that Johnny Storm was flirting with, but she didn't give him any play. I think at the very end she gave him some play. But it's going to be the same storyline from the John Byrne run where Frankie Ray is Johnny Storm's girlfriend. And here's the interesting connection is Frankie Ray has the same powers pretty much as the Human Torch. And it's because her father was the one that created the Human Torch cyborg or whatever, the original Human Torch, Jim Hammond. Right. So during that experiment, some of the chemicals got on her, and that's where she got her flame powers from.
Hey, hold up, TiVo, real quick. I don't want to miss this. Kyle Davis with a $2 super chat asking, what's our favorite Wolverine single issue? Man, I gotta go with Hulk 181 as my favorite Wolverine single issue. But you know what Wolverine issue everybody had? That one that looked like a manila folder file. Talking about the lost files. I think it was issue 50. You remember that?
The claw marks going through it?
Claw marks going through it. Everybody had that in their collection growing up in the 90s. So that would probably be my runner-up. But thanks.
My favorite Wolverine issue is from X-Men. Mm-hmm. And it's the wedding of him and Mariko, where she leaves him and he's like just devastated. That was some classic Chris Claremont right there, man.
That's after the Frank Miller miniseries, right?
Yeah, that was when like back in his ninja days.
Yeah, when he became a samurai or a Ronin without a master. Okay, anyway, so where are we at? So what's up with this character who's going to be? Is that who this Frankie Ray? Is this the Frankie Ray thing or
so Frankie Ray is Nova. Her first appearance is in Fantastic Four 244, created by John Byrne. This is the run of John Byrne from 232 to 282, where he actually killed it. He was actually the writer and the artist. Yeah, it's a great story. It goes all galactic. So, I mean, the price is pretty good on it. It's got some interesting movement on it, which tells you that there's something going on, right? A 9.8 lasso for 200. I mean, who would have thought 200, right? 90-day GPA 200, 9.6 lasso for 245. So that tells you, man, 9.6 on some books is a kiss of death, especially if I would still consider this kind of Copper Age modern books. It's not like it's super rare, but they're starting to get out there.
Oh, hey, hold up real quick. Justin Page, $5 cheeseburger for fee.
I said to Bob, I can really use a big fat cheeseburger.
Yo, shout out to Justin Page.
Thanks, Justin.
So that's the book to get, yo. So another little spec book based on what's coming is this first appearance of Frankie Ray as Nova. Is there a first appearance of Frankie Ray not as Nova?
Yeah, one FF-164.
That might heat up a little bit too, no?
Yeah, that, you know what? That'll be like that whole Miss Marvel Carol Danvers thing, right? You got the first appearance of Miss Marvel, and then you got the first appearance of Carol Danvers, right? Everybody's gonna buy up the Miss Marvel, and then they're gonna go out and buy up the first Carol Danvers. We looked up the sales data on FF-164, and it's dirt cheap right now. You can still get it.
King of the Golden State. He said he found a 244 for $2. See, that's what.
There you go.
This is when you need to dig in the long boxes. That's a key that'll be in there. That hey, you find a high grade one, you slab it up. By the time this shit drops, you're gonna be all right.
Even if it doesn't, $2 for a first appearance of a Marvel book, that's still a good thing, man. If you're gonna go out buying comics and looking in back issues, right? What do you look for? First issues and first appearances. I mean, everything else is just filler until it's not. Whatever it is. So I'm saying, if you don't want to miss out on anything, buy everything.
So, damn. So that's some nice things to look forward to. Is there anything else you got for us? Is that all with the leaks or what?
Well, actually, we could talk about Blade.
What about the other one that rhymes with denim?
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that.
We talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
I mean, I want to talk about that.
I think it's pretty major, actually, because
I like it. Let them know.
All right, so Venom 2, they already came out with the director. It's going to be Andy Serkis, right? The guy who played Gollum, which is pretty interesting.
And are they going to be doing the Carnage storyline for sure?
They haven't said yet. My guess is if you ever followed like how Carnage gets his powers, basically it's Eddie Brock is in prison with them. Right. And, somehow like a little piece of symbiote juice gets onto Carnage or whoever, Cletus Cassidy, whatever. And then he eventually becomes Carnage. I think
it always says that Venom symbiote spawned. So he didn't really just leave behind anything. It's like he left behind enough of a new baby symbiote to get a whole nother person, pretty much. Another hope.
Well, I mean, now with Donny Cates run, the entire history of what we know about symbiotes has been rewritten and rechanged, right? I mean,
not so much of recant, but I mean, it's been given more depth.
Well, yeah, because I remember when I first started reading Donny Cates' run, and it was even before that, they were saying the symbiote race isn't even inherently evil, right? The symbiote that came to Earth, because they were, what are they, a hive mind, a unimind, right? So because he was away from the hive mind for so long, the symbiote on Earth went crazy, and that's how he kind of turns people kind of bad. You know what I mean? And that's where that came from. So what Venom 2 is being directed by Andy Serkis is still going to be a Sony film. If you guys know, the Spider-Man films are produced by Marvel as far as on the creative side. All the financials, marketing, and all those Sony pays for. But they say you guys have creative reign, and that's why the Spider-Man, Far From Home, and Homecoming are so much better than the other films. So with Venom 3, and we're just finding this out, that Kevin Feige is going to take over producing Venom 3, and it's going to be part of the MCU. So in order to do that, they may make it PG-13, because this way they can cross over Spider-Man, Carnage, and Venom, and the third movie will be Maximum Carnage.
But do you think that, I mean, that means that they must have some kind of contractual agreement around that time when that movie should come out that they would have the rights to it, no?
Yeah, and that whole story, somebody said about there's a $1 billion clause in the contract. That's just nonsense, right? If it didn't make one or the other, they made it to where, look, we're gonna help you with Spider-Man. Allow us to use Spider-Man in the MCU. We'll put him in Avengers and everything else. But if you notice, remember the first Venom film, there was no say of anything Spider-Man, nothing about the MCU at all. Hell, it was in San Francisco. It was so far away. It wasn't even in New York.
It's so stupid because the whole reason why the symbiote climbs on walls and shoots webs is because it got Spider-Man's powers. So that's the only thing I never really liked. Yeah,
I mean, I didn't hate Venom. I thought it was okay. If you temper your expectations, it wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like Fantastic Four bad. That's pretty bad when we said Fantastic Four is the baseline for something bad.
Real quick, we're going to do the 30K giveaway drawing in probably 10 to 20 minutes as soon as Tebow's done with these leaks. So anyone watching, waiting to see what's up with that.
Bro, I've been drinking all day. I could leak all night.
You be leaking? Well, I know a lot of, we got 200 in the chat. They probably like, yo, what's up with this X-Men 4 first appearance of Omega Red that was donated by Very Gary. We had everybody join in to the drawing for this thing. Let me make this big real quick. So we're gonna do a live giveaway to see who the winner of this slab is gonna be.
Let me answer this. I got a question from Child of the Anim. What are my thoughts on Dark Phoenix?
Yeah, what do you think?
Man, I'm a huge. That's one of my favorite storylines ever in the comics. Is the Dark Phoenix Chris Claremont storyline, and I thought the train sequence was good. That was about it, man.
Oh, so you weren't into it. So I was pleasantly surprised with Dark Phoenix.
I enjoyed like a third of it. I thought it dragged a lot in the middle, but I thought the last third of it, I thought it was one of the most violent X-Men movies I'd ever seen. I thought it was pretty dark in those respects, but it didn't have the emotional oomph. If you ever read X-Men 137, man, if you don't, feel a little tearing up inside, Cyclops,
if you don't destroy a whole planet.
Yeah. So they moved around. It just didn't play well. It should have had more emotional oomph to it than it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you watch Endgame, you're like, man,
that had emotional oomph. You're right.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. We weren't really invested into that Dark Phoenix movie like that.
You know why? Because the Dark Phoenix saga probably should have been told over 3 films to build up the. You can't do it in one movie.
Like we've had multiple Jean Greys. Do we really care about what's her name? Sophia. What's the actress name?
Sophie Turner.
So beautiful.
I thought she did a good job.
No, she did a good job, but we weren't really that invested to her as a character like that.
Yeah, because I thought remember the end of Age of Apocalypse, right? Yeah. That end scene with Phoenix, that was awesome.
But it was anticlimactic because we're like, oh, okay, she's Dark Phoenix again. You know what I mean?
No, but they didn't build off of that. Dark Phoenix is almost disconnected from Age of Apocalypse. Like they totally disregarded that
whole. How could she have had that power if she gets it in outer space?
Exactly, right? I mean, they all stood there when a giant flaming freaking Phoenix flew out the back of her ass and she's floating in air. Nobody saw that? How do you not remember that?
The actress definitely did a good job. She did her thing. She probably made that movie more bearable than it would have been, right?
And what happened to my man what's his name? The fast guy, what's his name? Quicksilver, right? They're like, hey, just stay at home. Don't come in this mission. We can't afford you for the rest of the film.
He didn't really have his epic scene. He kind of had it, but they kind of cut it short.
No, he didn't even show up afterward. He didn't show up on the train or anything. They were at the beginning. He goes, do you guys need me on this mission? I'm like, no. He goes, all right, cool.
I thought Beast looked like you could see the ropes he was hanging up from.
Yeah, but it's just I think what they had. I mean, there's a great cast on there, right? I mean, you're talking Magneto, Professor X, all these characters, and they could have done a lot better. And it sucks. It's one of my favorite. But it's as soon as it ended. When you walked out of theater, what were you saying? You're like, I can't wait till Kevin Feige does this.
Oh, they're saying that his leg was broken. They shot him in the leg, so he looked like he was running with a broken leg.
Yeah, but don't all speedsters heal faster than normal people?
Oh, they're talking about Quicksilver. Shout out to my man True Dan. He just wants to know what hair products TiVo uses. That's a fucking great secret, brother.
I got the lay right. You know what I'm saying? This is the matted paste. You know what I'm saying? I'll hook you up, Tom.
$2 from Justin Page. Do you think we'll see She-Hulk in the MCU? TiVo,
yes.
That's all you.
Yes. One of my sources have told me, and we actually talked about this on the Lords of Long Box show, and that's why you should be subbed up to the channel.
You would have already been known.
So basically, part of the plot they're talking about for the next Spider-Man film is, if you remember, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Homecoming or Far From Home or Farfigdugan, whatever the fuck it is, right at the end, what's his name blows up his spot, reveals his identity. So basically, he has to lawyer up. The rumor around going was it was going to be Matt Murdock, but we all know Matt Murdock can't come into the MCU for another 18 months. They've already started the script, so they can't even start contractually doing it because of the Netflix deal, right? So at the end of the Netflix show, it has 2 years before Marvel can use it for any type of property in the MCU in Hulu or Disney Plus. So scratch that off. They're going to be using She-Hulk as his lawyer. So what I don't know is if it's going to be
Spider-Man's lawyer.
Yeah, because Jennifer Walters is a lawyer, right? That's probably the second most famous lawyer in the MCU is Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk. So I don't know if she's going to be hulked out yet, but it's definitely going to be Jennifer Walters and eventually become She-Hulk. And that's a great book to have. That's the last big Stan Lee original story, if you think about it.
Quick question. Who's the best reporter in comic books?
April O'Neil.
I was going to say April O'Neil.
Oh, did we just become best friends? No, I don't think so.
I was going to say who's better, Lois Lane or April O'Neil? But then I was like, yo, you got people like, what's his face? Jimmy Olsen. You got Peter Parker, how do you say it? Urich?
Ben Urich.
Urich?
Ulrich, right? Ulrich.
Yeah. You're also in the comments, 2 whiskey clones said Urich. Ned Leeds. I mean, is it Peter Parker? You talking about April O'Neil's over Peter Parker? But Peter Parker's a photographer.
Peter Parker's not a reporter though. He's a photographer. Yeah.
Oh, J. Jonah Jameson. He's not a reporter either. He probably was
an editor. He's like the boss man.
He's the big boss.
Speaking of which, where's my ginger homie Manimal at? Where's he at?
Oh man, Manimal ain't here, man.
Where's he at, man? Hey, man. Hey, if he no longer on the channel?
No, he's not.
Well, come on over to Death Row, baby. We got room for you on Lord of the Long Box. Boom.
That's fucked up,
man. So I got one more, man. So it's the last one is the one that we were alluding to earlier, which
last one, and then we're gonna do the giveaway, yo.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, his name is Mahershala Ali. My man Otto had a problem. we were making fun of him, man. He must have named him 3 different ways. So Mahershala Ali obviously is going to be playing Blade. We're finding out that Wesley Snipes will be in Blade. Obviously, he's not going to be Blade, but they want to kind of throw him a bone, say so the fans see him. They're like, yay, that's him, because he's a little bit older now. So they want Wesley Snipes to play Dracula in Blade. They're going old school. They're going like, so Tomb of Dracula, #1, first appearance of Dracula in the MCU, in the Marvel Comics. So they're trying to get Wesley Snipes to play Dracula. What they want to do is the rumor. That's why you saw the rumor about Giancarlo Esposito being a major villain in Marvel. Well, the reason you're hearing that is because Giancarlo Esposito, they want him to play Dracula if things fall through for on the Blade movie for Dracula. Because right now he's also being courted by DC to be in the Batman movie. So Giancarlo Esposito, if you don't know from Breaking Bad, right? He was Mr. Walter. What's his name? Mr. Fring, the guy who owned the chicken place.
Pollo Loco. No, what is
Pollo Romano? Yeah.
Romanos.
He's a great actor, right? So he can definitely play it. So they're trying to get Giancarlo, because right now DC and Marvel, they're like, hey man, if we don't get him, somebody else is. So DC wants to try to get him for Matt Reeves' Batman film, but Marvel is like, we're giving Wesley Snipes the opportunity. If Wesley's ego is going to say, hey, I don't want to play Dracula.
Wesley's with it. You seen he bigged up homie when he got the role and everything.
Yeah, so you know what? Hey, he needs to pay his taxes. I would say just do whatever role you can get. You
don't need to take that role, Wesley. Wesley Snipes, that's my dude for real, though, man. White man can't jump.
But you know what? Now Marvel can say they got a 2-time Academy Award winner playing Blade. That's pretty amazing if you think about it, because Mahershala Ali can act his ass off.
I just didn't need a 4th Blade movie, yo.
Well, it's not, though. It's the first MCU Blade movie.
Yeah, the first MCU Spider-Man didn't do shit for me, and Spider-Man's my favorite character.
You know what's going to be great? And when it does happen, that Deadpool will probably make some type of Easter egg about it, because, Ryan Reynolds was in the 3rd Blade movie.
Yeah.
He was Hannibal King or whatever. And you know how he kind of makes fun of other his own Green Lantern character. Yeah. It'll be great if when Blade does come in and Deadpool does make that joke that he's gonna, like, oh, Blade, this and that and the other, how he's always making fun of his own stuff.
Yeah. All right, cool, man. Hey, we appreciate you coming through and dropping all the damn leaks, man. So I want to say you heard it here first, unless you heard it here on Auto Channel 3 Men in the Basement.
One more thing.
Yeah,
we're the ones that dropped Namor first as the villain in Black Panther.
That's
2.
a perfect. I want to see that movie. I want to see Black Panther versus Namor, Wakanda versus Atlantis. That's a fucking dope movie.
And even though we reported it, and it has, I will admit to this: we've gotten some things wrong before. We said Donnie Yen was going to be the Mandarin, and my source says literally he got beaten out for it by last minute by Tony Leung, who's a great Hong Kong actor. We also dropped The Rock was in talks to play Namor. And I'm still hearing that's a possibility, or excuse me, not a possibility. He's deep in contracts. His agents are talking to Kevin Feige right now, because DC is like, he's kind of pissed at DC because they're not giving him the budget he wants for a Black Adam movie. And
but I heard that they wanted to cast an Asian actor for Namor.
Yeah, so because Namor, Black Adam, they got a director for it, but they haven't really moved anything else.
So I heard that shit wasn't going to go down because what The Rock needs to get paid is more than they're willing to spend. Exactly. And Shazam sequel, and it's not a serious movie. I mean, they could do another comedy Shazam sequel and kill it without paying The Rock anything, yo.
Yeah, but if you think about how Endgame is the most highest box office winningest movie ever, right? Marvel is
winningest coach ever.
Marvel is printing money. They can give The Rock whatever he wants. That's why they're giving Keanu Reeves what he wants to. We haven't even talked about that, but Keanu Reeves is
Marvel can do it, but DC, boy, they got more pitches than home runs, if you know what I mean.
DC's in trouble right now.
Infinity Nexus says, is Fifi married? Yes, she's married to me. Damn it.
Who said that?
It's my man Infinity Nexus.
Well, I was like, is it one of my followers who don't even know who you guys are? It's like, who?
Man.
So yes, so actually that's another one, man. Namor is coming, and I'm still hearing The Rock is deep in the talks with Kevin Feige. So I hope it happens at D23. So then I could just go and tell I can't even go back to my video and say, look, we posted it here. But you know what? I still have all my podcasts.
That's what they hit you with, man. They made it so they can't check your receipts, bro.
Yeah, I used to have receipts. I ain't got no receipts no more, man.
I ain't got no receipt. 220 in the chat. TiVo, we're about to give away this X-Men 4. You with
Go
it?
for it. I'm here because I want to see if I won.
You're in the drawing.
That's
right. All right, y'all. So we're going to do this drawing. TiVo, appreciate all the fucking exclusives, man. You know, we appreciate that. Let me see. Share screens. Let me know if you can see me sharing my screen.
All right.
Share your entire screen. Okay. That didn't work. Okay, here we go. Boom.
There you go.
Hey, he's trying to creep because he doesn't know what I do.
Yeah, you're sharing it now.
So here's the list. What we going to do, y'all, we're going to roll 2 dice. If the dice are on snake eyes, we're going to roll again because we want to randomize this list as much as possible.
I mean, at least 3 times.
Can I get 3 or better? I mean, damn.
At least 3 times.
So we're going to roll the dice. Bong. 7 times. Selm. We're going to randomize this list 7 times. And at the end, on the last randomization, whoever is the top name is going to win this X-Men 4, the first appearance of Omega Red. Scott Williams inked this cover, a friend of the channel.
Good Lord. How many people in it? 909?
Man, we got 909 entries, 1 entry per person. That I read every one of your damn comments on that video on things that you guys want to see on the channel, and we've already started implementing some of them, like top 20 list, top 10 list.
I'm really excited for the one we did today.
Yo, me and Fee knocked out 2 dope-ass videos today. I'm just going to go viral. Yo, so we're going to ship to the winner worldwide, wherever you at. I got you. So here's the winner on the 7th roll, right? It's 7, no? 5, 6, 7. Here's the winner for the X-Men 4, first appearance of Omega Red. Cameron McKay is the winner. Congrats, Cameron McKay.
Man, I don't even see my name. Just scroll down just for shits and giggles, see where I even came in.
Infinity Nexus, I sent you hearts. They were hearts.
Damn, I wasn't even close. Forget it.
You see your name?
I don't even see it, dog. It's 900 people. Man, that's a good win. That's a hella good win out of 900. Whew.
Cameron McKay is the winner. So, bruh, I'm gonna find you when you originally commented on the post, and I'm gonna reply underneath your comment on what email I need you to email me at, which is shipping info, brother. So we randomized that list 7 times. There were 7 was the dice. 7, the only number that can't be divided by anything.
Justin Page is hooking TiVo up with a cheeseburger, $4.99 super chat.
I'm gonna need that after I walk my dog.
Who go hook me up?
I'll
Here you go, the
up.
super chat.
You can
So
have half of mine.
all right, straight up.
So if you want, man, we could do this like once a month, man, where I could summarize all the biggest, scoops of the month.
Yeah, man, we got to build your channel back up, and if you ever want to drop some exclusives here first, let me know, and I will be happy to receive that and support you as always.
If the news drops on like a Friday or Saturday and it absolutely has to happen, then yes. But I appreciate you having me on here. I got to grow back the channel. It's kind of a grind, man. But you got to get that viral video, and just sometimes it just happens.
But I feel so bad because you just hit viral on them 2 videos were bigger than anything I've ever had.
640,000 views.
640,000 views on that shit. And I told you that was a TiVo type fucking video. I didn't even mess with it. Where's the super chat?
One. Oh, it's right here. Justin Page. Yeah.
Oh, we already got his ass. Okay, my bad.
The super chats are kind of hard to find in StreamYard, huh? They don't jump out at you.
StreamYard Facebook group, and I put that for recommendation. Like, bruh, you should highlight the super chat comments like YouTube does, and they were like, "We're on it." That's a good ass suggestion. My boy, Rick said he subbed to Lords of the Long Box. You did?
Yeah, I did.
Yo, we gonna get my man back. Yo, TiVo is a friend of the channel from day one for sure. We got you. If you want to hang around, you're welcome to hang around. But right now, we'll probably just take questions from the live chat until we feel like logging off of this thing,
Yeah, I can hang out for another 5-10 minutes. Anybody's got some questions about stuff.
So Magic the Crackening asking, why did the channel get shut down? He never got an actual response as to what video did it or what actions even led to it.
Yeah, it was really generic, kind of like for multiple violations of what they called spam, scams, or
But
misleading content.
you had no infractions though.
I had no infractions, and they didn't point to a specific video, which normally they'd be like, hey, this video has been copyrighted, this, that, and the other. So it was weird. But then when I went to Reddit, I saw 6 days prior, there was a mass termination that happened. There's also a channel that had 12,000 subs called Comic Book Crusaders. They got taken down, and he was pissed off. He just like, screw it, I'm going to Twitch.
I would give up. I would quit. Fuck that shit.
They know that TiVo's a bad seed.
Yo, my man Tim talking about TiVo. What's up with the X-Men scoops for the MCU though?
It's D23. You're gonna get the logo, and you probably get some, hopefully, some casting news.
Do you think the logo will be crooked, TiVo, or you think it'll be even?
Well, that's a good question, man.
That's an inside joke with that boy Tim. Yeah, I don't know if you want to answer this, but 10,000 Diamond Eyes wants to know if you smoke the cons.
Oh, hell yeah, all day long.
You're in Cali. This is legal out there.
Oh yeah, I can say it. I'll write that.
But it's like at what cost? It's legal, but nobody can do it anywhere.
Yeah, we was out there and nobody was smoking anywhere.
I was like,
where at?
Nobody's even smoking cigarettes anywhere. I'm like, there's no.
It's kind of like you can smoke in your house, but that's about it.
Where? When you're in San Diego?
I drink. Yeah.
How you gonna be smoking weed at a Comic-Con in front of a bunch of kids?
I thought it was legal.
So here's
okay. I mean, you can smoke cigarettes in front of kids
or drink beer.
What's the difference?
You need to be in more hood type areas, man. I'm gonna tell you what. There's a Los Angeles Comic-Con, right? And there's something called the Blue Line that you take up. It's similar to a subway in Southern California, but it's straight hood, man. Like every couple of stops, somebody will try to come on and sell you like socks or fucking chiclets or some weird shit. And dude, people would just be smoking weed all day long there.
They want to know if you coming to New York Comic Con or not, bro.
We'll see. I'm going to San Diego for sure because I got some stuff happening, and my man, I'll be talking about it soon. He needs a on-the-spot reporter, so I'm going to be going to San Diego.
Yeah. You be fucking with that shit. Yo, you got the website up too, no? The .com?
Well, here's the other weird thing is somebody squatted on my name. Yeah. So longbox.com got registered by somebody. I don't even know who.
That's a very specific name.
It is very specific, man. So I had to register LOTLB, which is better nowadays because people want, shorter domain names. But I was just like, what? Because a lot of times, so GoDaddy was like, hey, if you want to pay us $70, we'll try to get it back for you. So a lot of times people
GoDaddy be hustling.
Think about this, like whitehouse.com. Well, don't go there, by the way, because it's a porn site. But they are trying to sell it back because whitehouse.org is where you go.
Now I'm interested.
Now you've got my interest.
Well, here's another famous one, candyland.com, right?
Oh, I was just talking about Candyland. Yo, we seen Candyland in the store. I'm like, they still selling Candyland out here.
Well, the website belonged to a porn site. And so Milton Bradley was trying the hardest to try to get it back. I'm not going to look right now, but basically, people squat on names. Like if you say something is going to get popular, right? And then you squat on it, meaning I go and register the domain name and then I'll hold it hostage if somebody pays me. But I think by law,
was the game in the 90s, bro. People bought sports.com and shit came up.
But a lot of interesting. Well, let me ask Child of the Atom, and I'll finish about the X-Men stuff.
Please do.
The X-Men stuff is so big, and they have so much stuff to do before the X-Men that it's not going to be till like Phase 5, Phase 6. I mean,
I just worry about this Phase 4, TiVo.
Yes, Frankie Ray is a female Nova.
Okay, so is it a female version of Nova, or is her name just happens to be Nova?
Her name is Nova. It's basically short for Supernova. Remember when Johnny Storm goes Supernova?
But so she's not part of the Nova Corps.
Correct. So in 82, 83, when Fantastic Four 244 came out, Nova was not around anymore, right? So they just gave her the name. So, old Dick Ryder, he wasn't around, at that time, wasn't popular at all in the comics. So Frankie Ray is just the female of Nova. They just called once she got her flame powers, they gave her the name of Nova because if you remember the FF comics, Johnny Storm could go into what they call supernova mode.
Right. He did in the movie too.
Yeah. Am I Hispanic? No, but I grew up in Nevada, USA.
He's like the Vietnamese essay.
I grew up in the Bay Area around San Jose, so I had one white friend. I had one white friend growing up, and even he was ghetto. So everybody else was either Chicano or Asians, Filipinos and Vietnamese, everything. The Bay Area is like that. So even my one white friend was straight hoodish, like even more hoodish than like Gem. Like he was like drugs and selling stuff and all kinds of horrible stuff.
Yo, we have not seen Alita Battle Angel yet.
I have.
And your thoughts?
It's all right. It's pretty good, actually. The girl with the eyes kind of bugs me out, but I know a lot of people who dig the anime. Really dig the movie, and I thought the movie was pretty good. I meant Robert Rodriguez directed it, so I meant the action is pretty good. And if you want to see what Blade's going to look like, watch that movie because Mahershala Ali is in there and he looks very Blade-ish.
$4 super chat for my boy Magic the motherfucking Crackening talking about.
Yeah, Armando, I grew up in the 408, so
I
I
be
grew up
stuffing paint all day, every day. Okay. Thanks
Magic
for
the Crackening. I like that name, Magic the Crackening.
That's my main man, Crypto, man.
I'd be sniffing paint all day, every day. Back in the day, we called it huffing.
My man Justin Page hitting with the mad super chat talking about he was born and raised in SoCal, Hollywood, always up to no good.
Yeah, I moved down to SoCal in 2000. I had moved down here also in like the mid 90s, and there was, man, when I moved down here in the mid 90s, it was like Iraq.
That's Death Row era right there.
It was like Iraq, dude. I would hear the ghetto bird every night. I was living out in the valley near Canoga Park, and I wasn't living in Canoga Park. I was living in Woodland Hills, which is a really nice neighborhood. But the thing about LA, it just takes you 2 miles to get to a straight hoodish area. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Hey, a few people asking any Deadpool news. Have you heard anything about Deadpool with the MCU?
No, but I think they want to bring it in as PG-13. The standalone movies are still going to be.
Disney said they're not afraid to do an R-rated movie.
Yeah, but it'll be under the Fox banner. So if you remember,
hold on, why is that?
So do you know what the first rated R Disney movie was?
Blade?
No, Stuber.
I don't know what that
so Stuber was the movie with Drax and the Indian guy, and they were driving around. Dave Bautista. That was the first movie that Disney released that was an R-rated movie. So basically, that was all the stuff they bought from Fox and they released as an R-rated movie. Because I saw the movie and the Fox banner still came up. So basically, what they're going to do is if they release Deadpool's rated R, it'll be under the Fox banner, right? So you won't see the Magic Kingdom castle and all that shit. But if they cross him over to the MCU, it would have to be PG-13. You can't be, Deadpool and dick jokes around Peter Parker.
It has to be rated R. If you could pull some shit with PG-13, that's good enough.
Yeah, but they're definitely keeping the Deadpool solo films as rated R because they know there's a good cult following there, and it's going to be released under the Fox banner.
And they know he'll sell at rated R.
Oh yeah, I mean, just like they know why mess with a good thing. Just keep it as it is.
My man wants to know, what do you think Keanu is up for an MCU role?
I think it's either Warlock or Silver Surfer.
Warlock would make sense because they even teased him in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
That's the most obvious one, and I'm hearing that.
Or who? Hold on, Warlock or who?
Or Silver Surfer.
Nah, he'll do. Warlock makes more sense. He's gonna have his hair out for sure. He'll have the Goldilocks as Warlock. He's not gonna rock that Silver Surfer look. You could just do a CGI character for that.
Yeah. So hold on.
What happened? Oh, you're
getting my man, the Black Knight, is telling me right now.
Well, give us something new, baby. What's up, Black Knight?
So basically, on the Keanu Reeves thing, is he wants to play Warlock. His team, his John Wick team, wants him to play Moon Knight.
Ooh, he would kill Moon Knight.
So, but it's kind of like, why do you get such a well-known actor and put a mask on him, though?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He would have a lot without the mask and multiple personalities. You know who would fucking love that role is your boy John McAvoy. He loves doing the multiple personalities. He would.
Oh yeah, because of what's that? Split, whatever.
Yo, you heard it here first. GemMint casting John McAvoy for Moon Knight. Come on, man.
Yeah, but the problem is Professor X. I don't think
that shit is dead. Anyway,
yeah. But yeah, I think Keanu Reeves is coming. Basically, with how popular John Wick got, he can write his own ticket. He like Mahershala Ali, right? Hey, Kevin Feige, I'm gonna Blade. Bye, boom, done.
Keanu as Craven, nah, man, Craven. He needs something bigger than that.
Do you remember when your boy MCU Cosmic said that Keanu Reeves is going to be in Eternals?
I don't remember that, but
yeah, well, it's one of those scoop sites that blocked me when I told them they were wrong, and then they got all butthurt because I was like, no.
Because I've seen him in my recommendations. I don't subscribe because I'm not a big movie news guy, to be real. Yeah. But I noticed that dude blew the fuck up. He started the channel around the same time as me, but he's like 500,000 subscribers in or some shit, right?
No, not MCU Cosmic. Who are you talking about?
Oh, maybe Cosmic Wonder or some shit like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that just they'll quote these guys. Here's the thing about the scooper guys is they don't make good content because they don't have personalities or they're not good on camera.
Well, they don't be on camera. It's always like an.
They're writers, basically. That's why they just go on about they're Twitter writers or they write articles. Just like that hashtag show. And I'm sorry if I'm blowing up your spot, but you may get some reports of things. So
Gorilla Rod's been asking about you for a minute. Did you find any more about that ASM 210 9.8 going for 600?
You know what? Hold on. Yeah, we were talking about this offline.
My man BL says he doesn't trust.
Oh yeah, so that's the first appearance of Madam Web or whatever, you know, that old lady.
Oh yeah. 212 was Hydro Man. It was right back to back.
Because you know why? It's like a lot of people are buying up Spider-Man things because in a recent interview they said that basically they got 9 projects doing development at Sony right now for movies and TV. So they're taking all the Spidey stuff and throwing it out there. So I'm gonna have something about that next week. Actually, I'm getting more details on it.
Rich Jackson asking, "What do you think Eternals has any promise?" I originally was not a fan of it, but for some reason, I feel like they're gonna fucking kill that Eternals movie, dog. What do you think about it?
You know what? I have all the faith in Kevin Feige.
You gotta give him, dog. You gotta give him that.
Yeah, because look at the cast. Angelina Jolie. I mean, you know, these people don't just do little projects for nothing, right?
When I think Angelina Jolie, I think Wanted, and I think cheesy ass role.
Not Tomb Raider.
Maleficent. She was great as Maleficent.
Yeah, you're right. No,
I mean, she kills that role in Maleficent. She's like,
what I'm trying to say is she can do a cheesy role.
Yes, but I don't think she is cheesy though. She's almost like the mother of the gods, of the Eternals. If you think about it, if you think of the Eternals as Greek mythology or Norse mythology, right? They're literally that. I mean, her name is Thena, for God's sakes. Gilgamesh is basically the strong man or the Hercules or the Thor of the team, right? I mean, they have different subsets of powers, so that's why. But have you seen the concept art with the Eternals and everything? I mean, they're basing it like
I hear. So I hear the Celestials. Well, I don't hear. That's facts. That's given to us. But I hear Galactus might be teased at the end of Eternals. I think Eternals could be a good fucking look, yo. I was worried about it, but I'm confident in the Eternals right now.
I think so. And it's a great book. I mean, if you got 9.6, it's only like $4 right now. But once a trailer comes out, it's gonna pop, man. And you're talking Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby is getting a renaissance right now. They're doing all kinds of things, and they're paying homage to Jack Kirby. They're trying to finally bring these stories on the DC side. They're doing stuff.
DC is publishing. They published their 3rd Jack Kirby themed omnibus.
Yeah, and if you think about Third World, Forever People, all that stuff.
You remember when I was on your show and we talked about. Well, I went to my own horn. I talked about reprinting the Fantastic Four 1 omnibus and what would that would mean, and that shit ended up becoming true, man. That was before it was announced that Disney was getting the Fox properties.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the first, I would say 70 issues of Fantastic Four is arguably some of the most biggest keys of the Silver Age. If you just go through it, Black Panther, the Inhumans. You go through it.
It's only rivaled by Spider-Man's Silver Age run.
Yeah, because of his villains, though. I mean, if you look at the
villains, though, you're right.
But if you think about FF, Black Panther, the Inhumans. You got a lot of heroes in there as well. So remember, the long-term spec is always heroes.
Shout out to my man Deadpoolica. I haven't seen that name in a minute.
I know he used to be a wrench on our show, and then he had to work, and then I was like, man, he ain't dedicated.
Oh man! Shout out to my man Dylan Smith. Just got off work, checking out GemMint Live. What they do?
Well, we get a proper Hellblazer flick. Hellblazer is Constantine, right?
Yeah, I'm reading that shit right now. Actually, the original run, like the trade paperbacks, collecting it.
Isn't he already in some type of show?
Well, Keanu Reeves played John Constantine, yo.
Yeah, I actually don't mind that movie. I actually kind of like that movie.
It kind of got slept on, right?
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad at all. Keanu Reeves did a good job, but I can't help but think that they would never make a Constantine movie because the cat on Supernatural is more popular than he is. No, I don't know if you watch Supernatural, but there's a dude that's basically based on him. Who's playing Namor? My guess is The Rock. Really think about it. Who else could pull it off but The Rock?
He's too swole, man.
But that's why, though. Okay, so you want your protagonist to be swole, so then the hero has to overcome more to beat him, right? You know what I mean? I mean, look how swole.
Gotta whoop up. The Rock wants to shine, yo. My man, The Rock's doing 20 movies a year minimum.
Well, there was a picture that he posted at his daughter's graduation from high school or college, and she's purposely got a Captain America and Winter Soldier thing on the top of her cap and gown. Like he's The Rock is.
The Rock don't want to be in the MCU.
He'd rather be in the MCU than he'd rather be in Shazam. Trust me.
Anybody would, bro.
Right. I mean, but remember 10, 15 years ago, people were like, I don't do
I heard that Hobbs movie, though, is not doing well, though, no?
I saw it. It's kind of weird, man. It's entertaining for what it is. It's kind
I
of.
would never go watch that bullshit, man.
Well, I got AMC.
But you're a big movie guy. You be seeing all the shit in the theaters.
Well, it's because I have the AMC A list. You pay $20 a month and you get to see 3 movies a week.
We were gonna do that because we were seeing so many damn movies. Yo, let me ask you this though: Phase 4 for MCU though, that doesn't feel like the whole roster to me, man.
Well, that's a lot if you think about it.
I don't think so, man. A lot of that shit was fucking TV shows.
Well, but it's part of the
Bro, they were
MCU,
dropping
though,
3 movies a year for all of Phase 2 and 3. So they're gonna do 2 movies a year now. I think they're gonna drop some shit, some surprises.
Well, I mean, if you remember at the end of it, he said, "Oh, don't forget we got these other things going." So
let me ask you this though. What the fuck did I say?
You big dummy.
I had a good one, man.
Right.
Oh yeah, I got it. So you remember when he announced Phase 2 and Captain America was originally labeled like Serpent Society.
Yeah.
And then they like, no, it's going to be Civil War. And then you mentioned that Civil War was a last minute addition, which is what it felt like to me. The Black Panther introduction and the Spider-Man introduction felt super rushed to me. Do you think it was really originally the Serpent Society movie?
Quite possibly. I mean, but if you think about it, things change all the time. An actor drops out. An actor like Mahershala Ali is the perfect example. Nobody saw Blade coming. Mahershala Ali, nobody at all. You know, he just came in and we can do this. We can make this happen. You sign it now. We'll figure it out.
I'm not excited for the Blade movie at all, bro.
Yeah. Well, I was never a big fan of
it. Natalie Portman got an Oscar, right? And she didn't really make me love Thor: The Dark World. It's probably one of the weakest MCU movies out there.
I don't even think Thor: Love and Thunder is the title. I think it's another one of those bait and switch titles.
Love and Thunder is not even a comic-based homage. It's kind of just like, what is that? It sounds like a fucking romance novel, bro.
Well, here's the thing is when they asked him about it, Hall H, Taika Waititi, he was like, well, you know, because you have to have love and you love thunder. And I was like, man, that's a lame ass excuse for the name of your movie, right? I'm thinking
it should be called Unworthy or God Bomb or some God Butcher or something.
You know what? That would give away the details and that makes sense. But I you know, from everything I'm hearing, it is going to be, you know, female Thor, and actually Hercules is going to be.
Hercules is the wackest MCU character of all time.
So there's been some concept about with Hercules and Machine Man coming through. But have you read the last? They've kind of reboot Hercules lately. He's not.
It will never be tight though, man. No matter what they do. Like if you weren't Hercules,
an maxi series where Hercules got a new costume, and in that series he's actually badass, and they actually killed off all the Olympians.
If you're not Hercules, the Disney animated movie, don't even holler at me, man. Like,
bro, that was weak. I thought you were gonna go like old school 60s, you know, Clay.
Oh, no, what about Kevin Sorbo though?
Oh, that's whack. I'm thinking like back in the days of the Hercules, like the Sinbad movies. Remember those with the stop motion?
You're telling me the crossover with Kevin Sorbo and Xena the Warrior Princess wasn't your shit?
Yo, man, all I know is if your show on TV starts at 2 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon, yo, that's whack. Ain't nobody watching that. There wasn't even DVRs back then. If you missed it, you missed it.
Hercules is the wackest MCU character of all time.
Yeah. Kind of.
So who's your whack?
They make him goofy.
Yeah. And then, he's too much of a rip-off Thor.
No, I would say the goofiest or maybe even weirdest or creepiest is Star Fox, right?
I want to hear it from the chat. Who's the wackest Marvel character of all time? Because to me, I think it's Hercules. Besides, like, well, a DC whack one would be like Mr. Mexplicit. What's his name?
Mxyzptlk.
I'm not with that, yo.
I would say Our Man. He could only do shit like for 1 hour. You know what I'm saying?
I'll put it in work for an hour a day.
You know, well, there's one of the characters on the Marvel side is, remember that dude, like 3D Man or Triathlon Man?
I don't know about that, but they talk about Squirrel Girl. Dupe is not the wackest. You're tripping right now. Dupe has a fucking cult following, right up there with Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yo, man, don't be talking bad about slapstick. I see that, Patrick.
My man said Pace Pop Pete. That is pretty whack. Squirrel Girl.
Hey, how much is Pace Pop Pete's first appearance going for?
Well, Pace Pop Pete shares that shit with fucking Doctor Strange.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
That's like
Strange Tales 110.
Drax's first appearance is lit. Bitch, that's Thanos.
Arcade ain't whack. Arcade is actually kind of evil.
Pip the Troll, I don't like that fantasy type of writing. Like, I'm reading Hellblazer right now, and in the trade paperback second volume, they have like this Camelot fantasy shit. I'm not
I
with
love that stuff. I
Fuck
love that
that.
stuff.
Yo, that's super.
Wait a second. So when you're doing your Game of Thrones
culture.
recaps, you didn't like watching the show at all when you're watching Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones is the exception, man. And Hercules, the Kevin Sorbo joint.
Oh my God. All right. So Pip the Troll, believe it or not, is coming to the MCU.
Yo, my man Ed Pulica said he's with me on Hercules. Okay, fuck with me, man.
Yeah, Hercules, they always made him kind of, you know why? They always made him the drunk
He's a
superhero.
Thor, bro, who is not as interesting.
Yeah, but if you think about it, in mythology, Thor was a nobody until Marvel kind of made him who he was. Hercules,
didn't fuck with Iron Man or Thor before the MCU, dog.
Yeah, Hercules is kind of, but you know what? The thing is, he's strong though. Hercules is hella strong.
I don't give a fuck if he's strong. He's whack as fuck.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of who's whacker than Hercules.
Dazzler, yo, that was Manimal's favorite character, not for nothing, man. Shout out to Manimal.
There's a lot whacker than Hercules.
Morph ain't the wackest of all time. You tripping? He's a fan favorite from the fucking animated series. Batmite is whack, yo. You
Batmite?
Right. Arcade is fucking whack. Like, I'm not scared of Arcade. Like, yo, let me get about this simulation and I'm gonna whoop your ass. Like,
yeah, but that's like the Joker. He's just crazy.
The Joker is way more serious than Arcade, man, dog.
I'm saying the Joker don't lift weights. He don't do anything.
He don't need it. He's crazy as fuck. He hits you with the poison.
So how you gonna tell me that nobody can whoop his ass?
Super chat.
Yo, hold on. Where's Super at? Okay, Justin Page. $5 holler from Justin Page talking about
we all got burgers.
Double cheeseburger for the Gem Giant. The what is that? Hold on. The Corleone? Is that what that is?
I think he spelled it. I don't know if that's trying to spell Don Corleone or not, or
Corleone, man.
Or something for your colon because you eat too much beef.
The Pulica, yo, my man, the Pulica must have had a falling out because he said the Joker is legit. Tim high. He must have been out walking the dog, man.
First of all,
yo,
I'm always, even if I'm high, it's irregardless of what's going on.
Please, don't be serious.
Well, man, hit him with the irregardless, though.
Irregardless is not a word, but it is today.
Is Riri Williams Ironheart?
Yes.
I don't think that's whack. Let me tell you something about this SJW shit while I'm drunk, right?
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
I feel like Jane Foster Thor and Riri Williams is acceptable because anybody who holds the hammer, it has the power of Thor if they're worthy, right? So to me, Jane Foster, if she's worthy, bang, you get that shit. Riri Williams is wearing a suit of armor. Anybody wearing a suit of armor can be Iron Man if Iron Man passes that shit down to you. So the SJW stuff is more like, to me, like Miles Morales. Like, that was just an exact replicate of the original origin of Peter Parker. So that's kind of whack to me. But the Riri Williams and the Jane Foster Thor makes more sense to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, quick shout out to the Black Knight who says the wackest character in Marvel is Hypno Hustler. Good Lord.
I don't know who that is, but that sounds like some Bronze Age shit.
You know what? That sounds like some Bronze Age, like racist shit. Let me look at it.
That's definitely a 70s Marvel book. That probably was not approved by the Comics Code Authority.
Oh, no, it is wrong. Oh, my God. You got to Google it. Oh, my God. I wish you share your screen for the Hypno Hustler. So it's a black dude with a jerry curl with a pink guitar. Yep, Hypno Hustler is definitely the wackest. I think you got that one, Black Knight.
My man said Dazzler is whack, but y'all didn't even notice the Dazzler Easter egg in Dark Phoenix, man.
I like that little Easter egg. That was kind of cool, man. No, about that all SJW stuff. It's like, you know what? I think...
Yo, let me tell you something.
There's a little bit for everything. You know what I'm saying? Right. There's a demographic for.
I agree with you, TiVo. I've always been in the middle of that spectrum. I'm not one way or the other. I see balance in both. You know what I mean?
I'm agnostic. You know what? It doesn't bother me because I'm not reading it. You know what I'm saying? It's for somebody else. Well, let them go and do their thing.
That's the other thing. To a lot of the people that get really up in arms about it, like if you don't like it, you know, the best protest is not buying it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
To me, some shit is too obvious, too corporate, right? Like. When I say when it's too SJW, it's too corporate. You're only making this to appeal to that demographic. If it happens organically, I'm cool. I don't give a fuck. I'm all about diversity, man. Like Spider-Man 2099 is one of my favorite characters. Miguel O'Hara. I think he's half white, half Brazilian or some shit. And people always give Miles Morales the credit for that.
But, first of all, Lady Thor or Mistress Thor, whatever, that fucking Jason Aaron run is badass, man. You know, have you see how she goes out? Spoiler, if you haven't read the comic.
I've only read up to the beginning of the Jane Foster shit, and I'm with it.
It's a great. It's a great.
Like I watch people like Ethan Van Scriber and them, and you know, he makes a lot of good points, but he's all the way anti SJW, and I think there's always a balance. He was saying that Thor female Thor run didn't sell, but to Manimal's point, Black Panther never held the title, but he had $1 billion movie on y'all.
Yeah, but look at Jane Foster now, though. I mean, What If 10 blowing up? That's like
that shit blew up back then, though, man.
It blew up too back then. I mean, anytime when it came out, the character, I mean, spawned off Valkyrie. Jane Foster's Valkyrie now. It does all kinds of stuff. So I'm just saying, you know, like if you go to a comic shop, there's a little bit for everybody, right? Yeah. There's you got the you know, Charlie Brown comics or whatever for the kids. You know, you got something for the kids. You got to have something for the mid-range. You got something for adults. I mean, there's a reason, right? You go to a record store, same thing. You know, there's pop music, there's funk music, hip hop, jazz, whatever. So there's everything. Why? I mean, I don't know why sit there and spend all your time belittling something just because it's not for you. But, you know, if you got a daughter, go for it. If you got kids and girls cosplaying, that's a good thing.
I have 2 daughters, but like, don't like make a character to specifically target them. Like, this shit needs to be organic, bro. Like, I don't know. To me, that forced diversity is a problem. I'm with diversity, but just make it organic. Don't make it like this has to be an all this type of book with all the same writers. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be organic, man. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, the same argument can be said is you can't have a character that grew up in Harlem, Puerto Rican, and have a middle-aged white guy write about him because he doesn't understand what's going on in Harlem. Being
there's
Puerto
a way
Rican.
Different perspective there for sure. Yeah. I'm with that. No.
So I mean, there's room for everything for everybody. Is what I say.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Yo, like Spawn, one of my favorite characters. Like, yo, that was crazy that Todd McFarlane was on that type of diversity back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, he went out of his norm to create Spawn, and
he went out of his way to hire writers to write better for him. Is what you meant, right?
McFarlane. All right, yo, we need more comments for the chat. Yo, I'm tipsy than a mug out here.
So if you want to peep something out interesting, go on to YouTube, search Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld, Collider. They had an interview done.
I just seen it teased, but I haven't watched. Like it's like a 19-minute interview, right? How did that go?
Oh yeah, they're just sucking each other's dick for a good 20 minutes long. Him and Rob Liefeld.
I like that. Yeah, yo, I always enjoyed Rob Liefeld's art. Like, to me, I grew up as a kid in the 90s because I was born in 84. And that's the 90s, bro. Liefeld is the 90s. But
the problem with Rob Liefeld, and y'all can record this and put it on wax, is that his art has not progressed. I would say it has degressed.
Okay, but some people progress, and it's not for the better, like Mark Bagley. I much prefer his 90s shit over his modern shit.
Well, like Stephen Platt. Have you seen Stephen Platt's recent work? It looks nothing like his Moon Knight run at all. Totally different. But here's another person.
Well, that's that digital versus traditional, though.
Well, if you look at John Byrne, when he did X-Men, look exactly like. So the problem is when they started in the 80s or 90s, and if they want to do the same thing now, I think there's still a nostalgia kick for people. But the art now is so much different than what it was back then, and it's just
coloring, bro.
Well, yeah, you got to be able to have good inkers, right? I mean, if you think about it back in the day, like Steve Ditko, I mean, his lines were so crisp and drawn out. If you look at the 80s art or 90s art when they're done on paper, man, some of the inks bleed through the paper. They just didn't do well, or they were rushing with it. I mean, some of it is not that good. If you look at New Mutants 98, some of the coloring on that is pretty damn bad. Especially when the panels are
yeah, but you're printed on newspaper panels, paper. It's like a whole different vibe, you know.
Yeah, but the same thing is if people realize what the size is that people draw on, right? Have you ever seen those? The proof size of so the actual size, and then they shrink it down for printing, and then now they can do it all.
That's why you watch art is bigger.
You watch Todd McFarlane never do his drawings, right, on Facebook when he does the drawings on that super tablet that they use. You know, that was funny because I was thinking nowadays you have to grow with the times, right? If you want to do digitally, you have to do it digitally. You have to get color inkers or computer inkers or whatever. I mean, Image was good for art. I mean, if you remember in the 90s, Image was known for the art and Valiant was known for the stories. Valiant, you didn't know them for their artists per se.
I didn't really fuck with Valiant in the 90s. It always felt like a knockoff to me.
Yeah, it was. Well, you know what? back then everything was hot, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was.
Well, you know, back then you had Ninjak and Turok and all these cats. You're like, I was never into it either, you know, but I would see, oh, why are these hot? I'm like, wow, I didn't even heard of that. But I was definitely.
I fuck with him now. I'm just saying, when I was in the 90s, I wasn't fucking with it.
Oh, yeah, because I was hardcore into Image. Like anything Image came out, you know, everything that had blood in it, Blood Strike.
Image changed a lot since those days. I guess because they do less superhero books now, you know?
Well, everything is creator owned, so that's why, you know,
but
independent.
They kept the real off the jump. Image, though. It's still a nonprofit publisher, no?
I know it's still so Image Publishing is still Todd McFarlane, Valentino, and a couple other guys. I don't think they make
bread off those independent creations, though.
I think they get a cut of it. Trust me.
It's small though. It ain't like no Marvel DC deal.
Yeah, no, they get a cut of it because they're doing all the publishing for them. The other guy.
My girl Barbara Lopez talking about we need a Savage Dragon movie. Yeah, your boy Eric Larson is super. What's the word I'm looking for?
Whack.
Nah, he's not confident about his Savage Dragon shit. Like I saw him on Omnibros Live, and he didn't think like an omnibus would sell. I'm like, dog, print the fucking omnibus, it'll sell.
Because he's got a gang of fucking issues. I mean, it's been
just like one of the most ongoing series of all time.
That and what Cerebus was for a while. Was that Cerebus? The aardvark?
Spawn
is one of the ones. Yeah.
I think, but
doesn't necessarily mean they're coming out every month, but they've been coming out. So,
so J-Rox, yeah, he's not a risk taker. He's not really with that, yo. But I think he doesn't have enough confidence in his creation. Like I would fuck with a Savage Dragon omnibus for sure, man.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of Savage Dragon.
But have you read it though? I mean, I haven't read enough to know.
Yeah, he was a cop. I mean, whenever I told you, man, when Image was coming out, I would buy like the first 10, 15 issues of everything. Like my big kick was I was a huge Michael Turner fan. So I was down with like Witchblade and Darkness. That was my stilo. I had to go. That was back in the day. You kids don't know about this. When you wanted to go digging in them long, I had to call comic book shops, ask if they had it, and I drove around the Bay Area picking up Witchblade's #1. I can go on eBay. So this is like 93.
So eBay was savage in them days, though.
Yo, eBay, man. I used to. So I remember
you
buying
had to
comics
check for that shit.
Yo, yeah. So at one point they were like, "Nah, man, you can't. You need a money order." Like, damn. So this is how it worked, man. You buy a comic, you send them the money order. You wait for them to get it, and if they're smart, they made sure they cash the money, and then they would mail you your comic book. And sometimes it wasn't even mailed between like sturdy cardboard, man. I had it mailed one time in a manila envelope. I got a House of Secrets 92, first appearance of Swamp Thing.
That's crazy.
And my mailman shoved it into my mailbox sideways. So if it didn't have a subscription crease, it did now.
So let me tell you something. If it wasn't for eBay, I wouldn't be into comics right now. eBay was a major factor that got me back into collecting comics, dog.
You know what I really hunted down on eBay was Ultimate Spider-Man #1. Remember when that was hot? Remember those were really hot for a second? So I was for Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Spider-Man #1. I was going hard on eBay. I also bought my Hulk 181 off eBay raw. I also had my Giant Size X-Men. This is like I sold my collection in like 2002, 2003, and then I got back to collecting right around when The Walking Dead came out. That was what got me back into collecting was when I found out how hot but prior to that, I sold all my big keys and I kept like my X-Men collection and everything else I got rid of. Everything.
Yo, what do you collect now? Do you pick up weekly books still?
No. I just buy key issues. But recently Jonathan Hickman's got me. I got hard copies of House X and Powers of 10.
Do you read anything digitally like Immortal?
I read everything digitally.
Oh, you do read digitally?
Yeah.
I gotta get on that. You gotta send me that Immortal Hulk, though.
Shh, we can't talk about that.
All right, but you know.
Yeah. No, there's a way of doing it, but I tried to. So basically, I was gonna be like, "Yo, man, I'm gonna read everything, so I could do reviews on it." And then, just like everything else in life, it just gets stacked up, and I don't read it. The reason why I stopped buying comics, shout out to Bishop for the 99-cent super chat. The reason I stopped buying comics is this is when you no longer need to buy comics. If you have a long box of new comic books that have not been read yet, why are you even doing it? It's a waste of money. They're just sitting there.
Keep up with that shit, though.
Yeah, it's just sitting there for no reason at all. I mean, just get rid of it. Yeah, I mean, Deadpool, you're right. I just buy key issues. I go out and I buy old issues. For new things, I'll buy like if it's a new cover, but I'm down with Jonathan Hickman as a writer, so I'm gonna read.
Caught up? Are you caught up on House of X and Powers of 10?
I just read both first issues. I'm going to go back and forth. So I got to read House of X #2.
Serious.
Yeah.
You're gonna like that.
Yeah.
Somebody
So,
said Gem is a happy drunk. I am a happy drunk.
yeah. Speaking of which, I need to go get drunk, man. I gotta go, man. So, you gonna sign off or you gonna stay on here?
Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and sign off then because I'm drunker than a bit right now.
All right.
Yo, yo! Shout out to my man TiVo for coming through. Drop motherfucking MCU leaks. You heard it here first. When you hear about MCU Secret Wars, you're gonna be like, "Yo, TiVo dropped that on me during GemMint Live." Remember that shit?
Just wait till Dakota North tops on TV.
Shout out to my man Cameron McKay for winning that X-Men 4.
Congratulations, that was a hell of a win.
Congrats, that's a nice spec book. We probably will see Omega Red in the X-Men MCU future.
We dropped it a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, did you? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, Omega Red is they're putting plans to make him an X-Men villain very soon.
My man 10,000 talking about keep it going, Jeff, because they know I get loose at the lips.
I know you're about to get some serious hate comments like I got once I start talking about a certain subject.
No, but I keep it neutral though, man. With that SJW shit, I keep it neutral. I understand.
Get a few more drinks when you. I don't think you will. Anyway, hey, thanks for having me on, brother. I appreciate everybody in the live chat subbing me up, man. We're gonna continue to give you more good content. And I'm gonna holler at GemMint every now and then, and maybe we'll bring him back on the show for Fanboy Fight Club.
I don't know, man. That shit was too stressful for me.
All right, man.
It though, but thanks for coming through. Thanks to y'all for watching. Catch y'all later, man. Peace.
Peace.
And that bitch.